the great news for you is when you are doing the right thing and you're eating the right food, then you're going to find that you're going to have abundance of energy. You're going to have great nutrition that's going to help protect you against a lot of these lifestyle diseases. Yeah. You're going to save a lot of energy because a nutritional cooking system not only will prepare the food, it will help with the minimum amount of energy being used to cook good food. So you save roughly at 84% on your energy bills. You save money because obviously if you're saving on your energy bills, you're also saving on your food bills. And the most important thing, what do we need the most? We need to have time with our family. So when we have time, we have a great quality of life. So you save time also because you're not having to stand around. It's got a nutritional protector that says, come to the kitchen and turn. So that's very simple. Why we eat, just quickly going through this: taste, energy, and nutrition. Taste is what we are carried away with these days. If it tastes good, we go back for more, which is good. But our taste buds can be trained. So what I mean by trained is sometimes our taste buds are trained for bad food. So we keep on being addicted to bad food, but you can retrain your taste buds. And sooner or later, if you retrain it long enough, it will like good food. And the good food will taste as good as the bad food, if not better. But it will basically help us heal the body. The body has a natural healing mechanism. So if we have good food, the body can. Energy, we know about the energy side in terms of food is fuel to the body. Yeah, so it helps us with our breathing, our blood circulation, cognitive processes, and so on. Nutrition, that's the bingo. Yeah. Obviously, nutrition, we talked about it a lot just now in terms of the micronutrients, the macronutrients, the fiber, we have that. And all these things like we've got for health in terms of, for example, repairing of health, repairing tissues and so on. So we've got all those things. Now, the human body is in a constant state of renewal, regeneration. What do I mean by that? If you're having a problem with your heart muscles, guess what? If you start eating right today, then 4.5 years time, your heart muscles will be renewed. Yeah. If you're not having a problem with your heart muscles, then guess what? You might have an issue with your bone cells. And if you eat right today, some of your bone cells will be replaced within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. Best one I like is your skin. People always complain about their skin, saying it's just completely shivered. The skin's only 4 weeks old. Never had the skin we had today 4 weeks ago. Guess why? Because it regenerates from food. So if you don't like your skin, then change your food. The reason why you have some people have skin they don't like for the rest of their life because they're eating the same food for the rest of their life. Change something and you'll see your skin change. Taste buds. Remember I said you can train your taste buds every 10 days. If you eat food that you don't like for 10 days, you're going to be shocked. You're going to find that food tastes as good as the bad food that you like. Yeah. And you no longer require the bad food because it's too salty, it's too sugary. So your taste buds change every 10 days if you eat food. So if you come to our food addiction, we show you how you can get over these bad foods. Then those of you who have issues with your intestinal linings, look at that, 3 days, they're replaced. So guess what? If you want good ones, you can eat good now, and 3 days later, they've changed. So this is the power of the food, and this is the power of regeneration. Ask yourself, why do you eat? Why do you eat? Do you believe that what you eat and how you prepare your food can affect how you look, how you feel, and how long you live? Now, you want to say yes, put it in the chat. Say yes in the chat so we know you're here. Okay. Now, what happens when you eat food that has no nutrition in your food or less nutrition? Guess what happens? You overeat to compensate. Because imagine this. Some of you are saying your children are eating you out of house and home. Some of you are saying that, you know what, they're eating or you're eating too much. You keep on eating too much. And the reason why that happens is not because you're greedy. It's not because your children are greedy. It's because the food that's in the cupboard and the foods that they're eating are not nutrient dense. They don't have enough nutrients in them. They're calorie dense, they're not nutrient dense. So that means that your body keeps saying, I need some more food. Look, the body's saying, not food, more food. You're saying more food. The body's saying, I need some more nutrients. Even though you've eaten that big plate of food, I need some more nutrients. But what do you interpret that as? You interpret that as the body needs some more food because you know that the nutrients is going to come from it. So what we need to do is we need to eat food that is nutrient dense. Now, just going through the process, what you do is you cook and you prepare your food. So we create the need, the color. We love the colors of food. We love the taste of food. And obviously what happens is that gives us energy and nourishment. Now, when we eat that food, what happens? Our saliva mixes with our saliva, and obviously enzymes, they break it down, that boss. They break the meal down. Then it goes into our digestion in terms of our food is broken down in the stomach with the enzymes and acids to release all the nutrients, yeah, and also for absorption. Then we extract the nutrients. That's sent around the body through the bloodstream and delivered to the cells and the tissues throughout the body. Then after that, the great impact this has, if you're eating good food, food can have great impact, good impact, or bad impact, depending on the type of food you eat. We're hoping you're eating the good food, so obviously going to have good impact. So what's going to happen? It's going to obviously give the nutrients to the cells, and it's going to support our overall health, energy levels, and immune system. Remember, our immune system is so powerful. We need it, because that will help us fight any cancer issues with cancer cells or any cells that are damaged cells, abnormal cells, and so on. And then we have this feel satisfaction. This is where we are. So what we have is we go through this cycle. Now, if you're eating bad food, it still goes through the cycle, but obviously it's not going to circulate good food. It's going to mess up your system. So that's really it. Now, we talked about it. Why do you have a nutritional system? Because remember, the nutritional system, you don't need to peel. So you don't peel your yam when you put it in a nutritional system. You don't need to add water to it either. You don't need to high heat on it. So then it's boiling to temperatures of over 100 degrees Celsius. Ideally, scientists say when you heat your food below 90 degrees, you get most of the nutrients preserved. Yeah? But when you heat your food above 90 degrees, you lose a lot of it. And so when you're boiling your food, then guess what happens? Yeah? So that's the difference between a pot and a nutritional system. Then also, sometimes you have to leave your pot open. So what's happening there? Oxidation. Yeah, oxidation is obviously is harming the food. It's tripping out in nutrition food. That's the air and light. Then obviously some of you use steamers because obviously you were told the steamers are better than boiling. You're told. But the problem is, again, what temperature does steam exist at? Steam exists at such a high temperature, 102 degrees, which is way above 90 degrees. That's why some of you, when you look at your steamer after you cook, you find that you just look at the water at the bottom of the steamer and you find that the water has changed color. Now they say when you lose color, you lose vitamins. And when you lose taste, you lose vitamins. Now some of you are fans of the microwave, yeah? And the microwave, boy, I have news for you. The microwave heats food at a very high temperature, so over 150 degrees Celsius. So therefore, what you have left is very little. Also, the microwave, listen to the word, microwave. Micro means small, wave. Now, what's a wave? We link that to radiation. Now, radiation. If a room was full of radiation, would you eat? Would you eat it? Would you go into that room? The answer is no. The reason why? Because you know radiation is linked to a number of illnesses. And the number one illness people normally relate to radiation is cancer. It's cancer. So that's another thing. So why would you not go into that room, but you're prepared to put your food in that room just so that you can make it hot and eat it? So aren't you exposing it to the same thing? There's scientific studies that are out there, and I can even send you, Caroline can send you, that says about how when you put your food in the microwave, it increases the cancer-causing agents. And guess what? Some of you use air fryers. Wow. Guys, air fryers, nobody knew anything about them, but guess what? Everything's coming out now. Yeah. So guys, watch out with the air fryer. There's so many things that we can share with you on that too. So if you want to know more about that, please talk to Caroline or anyone that put you the call. I would love to show you a carrot. Now this is a little test. I'm going to play this video for you so you can see. Now you can see me taking a carrot, yeah? And this carrot is grown under the ground, so we haven't peeled it. We just washed it. Remember, you just wash the skin. If it's dirty, you wash the skin. And then I'm putting it through our world-famous Salamas machine. By the way, everyone should have one of these for Christmas. If you don't have one for Christmas, then you need to talk to Caroline. Okay, it's nice. I'm tasting that carrot now. That carrot has not been tampered with. It tastes sweet, yeah? Sweet like chocolate, yeah? then guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to add water to it. Now, remember, we said water is an enemy to nutrition because a lot of the vitamins and minerals dissolve in water. They're water soluble. So guess what? If that water changes color, that means we've lost. That color has come from the vegetable. Where's that color from? That's the vitamins that have dissolved. And now guess what happens is you've seen that now, we taste that, and now it doesn't taste so good. And when you lose taste in your food, that means you've lost some of the minerals into that water also. And then if we're cooking our food like this and the food doesn't taste right, what do? We go and add some seasoning, some this, some that, some salt, because we've taken the natural flavors out. So with a nutritional cooking system, the whole point is you keep the nutrition in, you keep the vitamins, you keep the minerals in so it retains its flavor, so you don't have to add so much seasoning to your food or any at all. Okay, so that's with that. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide. Caroline, is there anything you need me to say or any questions before I move on?
No, you're good.
Good. Okay. So, guys, you might say cooking foods with water and high heat can lead to loss of various nutrients and cause oxidative damage. Now, you can see, look at all these ones. Water soluble, vitamin C. Vitamin C, what does vitamin C do? It helps our immune system. Now, if you're losing a lot of vitamin C in the water because you walk the vegetables or water, then you're not getting as much in your system. And that means you're compromising your immune system. B vitamins, they tend to be good for our brains. We're losing them. Remember we talked about the B6 that you get from the B6, sorry, that you get from yam. Yeah. You know, all these things, folates, yeah, we're losing them. So enzymes are heat sensitive. So if you're cooking at a high temperature, you're losing a lot of the enzymes, raw foods. That's why raw foods are used. Folates, folic acids, vulnerable to heat also. It's with a nutritional cooking system, what you see with the Salad Master nutritional cooking system, on average, we retain 93% of the nutritional value of the food. This is a study done by the University of Wisconsin Food and Science Department on salad. When you cook carrots you retain over 88% of the nutritional value. When you cook potato in there, you retain over 93%. And when you cook broccoli in there, you retain over 98%. So on average, your nutritional retention is 93%. Now, we know that if you eat raw food, you get 100% nutrition. But guess what? If you're like me, I have not brought up on raw food. I can eat raw to a certain level, but not all day. So I want my food cooked, but I want it with almost as much nutrition as raw, so that I can still get the benefit from the food. And that's where you get a nutritional cooking system rather than a cooker. Now, on the flip side of that, if you have normal pots, then on average, you lose up to 85% of the nutritional value because of the water, the boiling, the steaming, the microwave, the oxidation. So the choice is yours. You know, if you don't have this already, I think it's a great one to have for Christmas. I was speaking to a lady, one of my good clients. She's been a client for probably good 15, 20 years. And she said, Tony, and by the way, she's 86 years old and she looks great. She looks great for 86 years old. She says, Tony, you know what? I'm happy. My Salad Master, I'm happy with my nutritional cooking system. I feel I get energy every time I eat. And I feel my body, I haven't had any illnesses for a long time. And she said, well, I'm sad. I said, why are you sad? She said, you know why I'm sad? 3 of my sons I've had to bury. He says, I only have 2 kids left. And my only prayer is that I go before them. He said, look, Tony, I spoke to my sons a long time ago and they laughed at me when I got Salad Master, when I got a nutritional cooking system. But you know what? I'm so sad. And my daughters now, I want them to have Salad Master. I don't care. I'm going to get it for them. I mean, it's so sad. The last thing you want to do is to bury your child. And especially it's sad when it's premature. So what we've got to do is we've got to understand food is so important for us. And preserving the integrity of the food is even more important. And also making sure there's no chemicals leaching out into the food while we're preserving the nutritional value of the food. I mean, this lady looks great. And she says she'll probably come on one of my shows too. Okay, so that's with that. So just to show you, I'm going to show you show you with a few things. Let's have a look in the kitchen to see what's happening in the kitchen. So I'm going to pass over to the kitchen.
How we doing, guys? Okay, so we're gonna get down to some robust, healthy cooking. All right, so first things first, we're gonna start with some potatoes. Are you ready for this? 3, 2, 1, and nice and easy. It's so easy. I could just start singing when I start using this thing. Okay, so those are potatoes. It's really good. And also we're gonna do some sweet potatoes. That's it. Some of us love the sweet potatoes, and we're gonna do some today. Ready for this? Clean and scrub them, and look at that. Easy, easy, easy. I'm telling you, life is changing.
You can't see it? Can you see it now?
Church fan is called the church fan. Holy, okay, and this is really important because we use this to de-starch our food and also de-fat. Guys, okay, so we're gonna get down to some robust, healthy cooking. All right, so first things first, we're gonna start with some potatoes. Are you ready for this? 3, 2, 1, and nice and easy. It's so easy. I could just start singing when I start using this thing. Okay, so those are potatoes. It's really good. And also we're gonna do some sweet potatoes. That's it. Some of us love the sweet potatoes, and we're gonna do some today. Ready for this? I'll clean and scrub them, and here we go. Look at that. Easy, easy, easy. I'm telling you, life is changing. Life is changing. Okay, and we haven't peeled them, all right, as you learned earlier in the program. Okay, now I want to introduce you to the world famous salad master, church pan. Now, why do you think it's called the church pan? It's called the church pan because it's holy. Okay, and this is really important because we use this to de-starch our food and also de-fat our food. So basically, if you had like mincemeat or something like that, I love to do this at home. My kids love spaghetti bolognese. Put the mincemeat in here, and it goes on top of this piece here, which has 1 inch of water. All right. Close the lid, and literally you'll see that it will fat the fat from the mincemeat and drop it to the bottom of the pan. That's why we particularly use this one for de-starching. Okay. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chuck. I use the word chuck. I love using funny words like that. All our hard food in there like that. I could throw a block of yam. I'm from Ghana originally, those of you who don't know, and I could put yam in here and it's good to go. Whatever country you're from, if you've got starchy food, you love your potatoes, or whichever, you can literally put it in here and it's good to de-starch. I'm going to literally close the lid and I'll set the temperature. Once again, instead of using number 9, I'm going to use number 4, okay? And we're going to let it do its thing. I'm going to close the lid, okay? And that's it.
Okay, so you saw that. So you can see already the difference between a nutrition cooking system. The fact that, remember we talked about peeling, the fact that we're not peeling in this case, yeah, we're just adding that stuff. Okay, so we have that just to show you. And then also, just moving on quickly to the next slide, so you can see.
I have here my selection of vegetables. All right, now who loves cabbage? You know, cabbage, when you start cooking cabbage, it always ends up shrinking. All right, so you have to use a lot of cabbage. Today we're gonna cook our cabbage, but we're only gonna use 1/4 of a cabbage, okay? And you know when you got, I believe it's heartburn, yeah, Pepto-Bismol, yeah, so that's something that, you know, you can get something like that in cabbage. All right, so let's get some cabbage action going on here, and you can see that we're using less cabbage to do our cabbage today. All right, and I'm gonna let it all go in there, and we're even gonna do the core. So when it gets too small, just literally throw it in there like that, and it's good to go. How amazing is that? Absolutely amazing. I'm telling you guys, it's wonderful. So that's looking really, really, really good. Okay, so have a look at that, guys. So this is cabbage chopped nicely. We've got so much cabbage there, and like we said, normally cabbage shrinks, but today, because we're going to keep it nutrified, because we're using no water, no steam, you're going to find it's not going to shrink. Okay, and here we have our 11-inch skillet. Now this is a piece of art. It's actually really good because it has the width. So if you love doing fish dishes, it's really good for that. If supposing you are someone that you're probably West African, you love moi moi, West Africans like to do moi moi in this. If you're Italiano, then you can actually do a nice lasagna in here as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my cabbage, and I'm literally gonna just pour it inside there like that, okay? Just gonna chuck it all in, nice and easy. All right, that's what we've got going on there. So that's our cabbage, ready to go, okay? So we're gonna do our carrots, okay? So here we go. Are you ready for this, guys? 3, 2, 1, and nice and easy. Look at that. Oh my gosh, my goodness. Can you imagine what people would go through normally using a knife? Okay, and then we're gonna do our second carrot. Absolutely amazing. I'm only gonna use that part there. All right, so I'm gonna add that here now. There we go. So we got our 1.5 carrots, okay? All right, and like I said, maybe some of you think normally if I use 1.5 carrots for my family to feed them, ain't gonna work. But what this is about quality over quantity. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is I have some red cabbage. All right, here we go. Nice and easy, 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 easy. And if you just want to be a bit lazy, you just chuck it in the top there. All right, we're good to go. We're really good to go. Okay, so there we got our purple cabbage. Okay, that's looking absolutely great. Okay, so we're gonna add our purple cabbage in here now, like this, and I'm gonna put it closer towards the carrots. Yeah, because obviously purple cabbage, the colors like to be a bit radical. All right, and take over. So I'm gonna put my purple cabbage just there on the side next to my carrots, which is looking great. All right, so I've got a bag here of some peas, some green peas. All right, so we're just gonna add that to it now. Now, normally we don't mix frozen and fresh vegetables together, isn't it? We normally just do fresh veg, certain ones we combine. How would you normally cook this many vegetables of this type in one pan? Normally we wouldn't, would we? So we use a lot of pans, but today we're just using one pan to cook 4 vegetables, and guess what temperature we're going to use? A nice medium temperature. Now, what would that do for your energy bills? Absolutely amazing. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, we said we're going to be cooking with no water and no steam. All right, so today we're going to do a bit of a test, okay, where I'm going to put this salt on this tissue, just an ordinary tissue, and here's the challenge. When we finish cooking these vegetables today, if that salt gets dissolved, that means there was water or steam coming from somewhere to cook the food, and that means we've lost nutritional value. All right. Going if we finish cooking today and the salt is still there and it's dry, that means we've retained the nutritional value and we haven't used any water or any salt. All right, so we're going to do that, and also we're going to just put this on top like that, and I'm going to put it to a nice medium heat. So instead of using number 9, I'm going to use number 4.
Okay, so just to just show you two examples there. So I just want to just quickly summarize everything today, so we can actually wrap up because we're quite late behind. So anyway, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, good. All right. So what we'll do is just to summarize things is that obviously the whole point is so that we can actually have the right food, the right technique, and the right cooking equipment. That's the trilogy of good health. And all that we have to do is anyone that's interested in seeing everything, they need to just talk to whoever brought you onto the call, just to kind of like get one to come to the office, or we come to you, whichever one it is. So that's me. Yeah. Caroline, Ferry.
Yeah. Thank